This is a 9-mark exam question which I found, especially for those of you who are in the lower set or upper set, that is high school. This exam question, I found it on the GC question paper, and I want to solve this. It is based on the topic of polynomials, and I will trash this question for you so that, of course, you can actually benefit from it. And I will begin with the reading of this expression so that we figure it out and how we can go on with this. It states that the polynomial p of x is equal to ax cubed minus 3x squared plus bx plus 6. They say when p of x is divided by x minus 1, the remainder is minus 6. Given that x plus 2 is a factor of p of x, find the values of the constant a and b, then hence solve the equation p of x is equal to 0. This question actually is a 9-mark question, and I want you to look at something here very clearly. Looking at this expression, note that there are certain key aspects which has been defined. I first of all want to pinpoint out those key aspects from this particular expression so that we see exactly what we are going to do in the next step. First, the first expression here, or the first key thing to take note of, is the fact that they have told us that when p of x is divided by x minus 1, the remainder is minus 6. Then secondly, they have told us that x plus 2 is a factor of p of x. These are two key things you should take note of when you see expressions like this. And unlocking the key term of what they want us to look at, of course, you easily solve out questions like this. So when p of x, as you can see here, when p of x is divided by x minus 1, the remainder is minus 6. Given that x plus 2 is a factor of p of x, find the values of constant a and b, and also solve for p of x equal to 0. Now, looking at this expression, as I've earlier said, we are going to work on two key factors. The first is when p of x is divided by x minus 1, the remainder is minus 6. And the second is given that x plus 2 is a factor p of x, then find the value of the constant. We are going to use x minus 1 is equal to 0. And we are also going to use x plus 2 is equal to 0. Those are the two key things we should look at. So the first thing we are going to do here is to state that let x minus 1 is equal to 0. So we are going to say that let x minus 1 be equal to 0. This will imply that x will be equal to, if we carry this minus 1 to the right, is equal to 1. So we have x as equal to 1. If we have x as equal to 1 based on this expression here, x minus 1, then we should use this one and input in this expression, as you can see here, ax cubed minus 3x squared plus bx plus 6. And of course, they told us that if we see the value here, x minus 1 as equal to 1, when we input here, let's equate it as is minus 6. Remember, when p of x is divided by x minus 1, the remainder is minus 6. So whatever thing we are going to be doing here, by inserting this 1 inside of this expression, anywhere that we see x, we replace it by 1, then we must equate this to minus 6, which has been given here. So this is going to imply that is p of 1 is equal to, we are going to say a into the 1 here, cube, as you can see it here, minus 3, 1 square, as you can see here, plus b into x, where x is 1, 1, plus 6, and they told us that it should be equal to minus 6. So we are going to say equal to minus 6. Now, let's look at this expression, what we are going to have. So 1 cubed is 1. A times 1 is going to give us a. 1 square is 1. Minus 3 times 1 is going to give us minus 3. b times 1 is plus b plus 6 is equal to minus 6. You can see this. Now here, let's try to see how we can sort this out and collect like and unlike terms on one side, like terms on one side, on unlike terms on the other side. So based on this expression, we are going to carry this plus 6 to the right hand and this minus 3 as well, and allow only letters on the other side. So here we are going to say that a plus b, as you can see here, a plus b. Then we have minus 3 plus 6. Minus 3 plus 6 is plus 3. And if we carry plus 3 to the right hand side, we have minus 6 minus 3, which is going to give us minus 9. So we have just grouped like and unlike terms. So you can see that. Let me try to express this so that you understand it. This implies that this is a plus b, putting like terms together. A plus b will be equal to this minus 6 minus 6. Let's carry this plus 6 from here to the other side. When we carry it, it changes from plus 6 to minus 6. So minus 6. And this minus 3, let's carry it as well. To the right hand, it becomes plus 3. So if we combine all of these, minus 6 minus 6 is minus 12. Minus 12 plus 3 is going to give us minus 9. So we have a plus b is equal to minus 9. So let's say this is equation 1. We are going to say this is equation 1. That's the first expression that we have gotten. Remember, there is a second expression here that states that given that x plus 2 is a factor, then we are also going to use x plus 2. We are going to say let x plus 2 be equal to 0. So that we look for x and also input the x plus 2 equals to 0, the value of x inside of this expression, ax cubed minus 3x squared plus bx plus 6. So we are going to say let x plus 2 be equal to 0, just as we did for the first case where we set let x minus 1 is equal to 0 for this case, and we look for the value of x. In this case, we are going to say that x will be equal to minus 2. That is, if we carry this plus 2 to the right hand, it becomes minus 2 for x. So we are going to use minus 2 and insert inside of this expression ax cubed minus 3x squared plus bx plus 6 to also get another equation, as we have had equation 1 here. So this implies that, let's come here, a. So we have a into any place that we see x, we input minus 2, that is minus 2 cubed, minus 2 cubed, minus 3 into minus 2 square, as you can see here, plus b into minus 2 plus 6, as you can see this expression here. So let's see what we are going to have from here. So minus 2 cubed is going to be, that is minus 2 times minus 2 times minus 2. Minus 2 times minus 2 is plus 4, and plus 4 times minus 2 is going to give us minus 8. So we are going to have the minus 8 times a is going to give us minus 8a. So we have minus 8a. Now we have minus 2 square is 4. Minus 3 times 4 is going to give us minus 12. Plus, we have minus 2 here times b is going to give us minus 2b. Minus 2b plus this 6 that you see here, plus 6, that will be equal to 0. Now, of course, let's try to group like terms together. Looking at this expression, of course, we have here minus 12 and plus 6. So minus 12 and plus 6 is going to give us minus 6. If we carry minus 6 to the right hand side, it is going to give us plus 6. So we are going to have minus 8a minus 2b is going to give us plus 6. So we have minus 8a minus 2b is equal to plus 6, which is still the same as minus 8a minus 2b is equal to 6. We are going to say that this is equation 2. We are going to say that this is equation 2. Now, since we already have equation 1 here and equation 2 here, we want to now write them down out as equation 1 and equation 2. So I'll come here and select the equation 1, a plus b is equal to minus 9. I'll say a plus b is equal to minus 9, equation 1. Then minus 8a minus 2b is equal to 6, equation 2. So let's try now to figure out the value of a and b. You note that based on this expression here, they have asked us to look for the value of a and b, which is the constant. It is now that we want to try to look for these values after all of this expression or technique has been applied. So we are going to look or choose any of these two and make a or b to stand on one side and substitute in the other expression to get the values. So I prefer to choose equation 1. I'm going to say that a plus b is equal to minus 9 as in equation 1, this equation 1 that you can see here. Then I will say that a will be equal to minus 9 minus b. I prefer to make a to stand alone in this expression. So making either a or b to be alone, we can use it and equate that in the next equation to get the value. So of course now we can say that a, we already now know the expression of a. We can now say that let's insert a inside of equation 2 so that we can get some values. So this is equation 2. We want to use this a as equal to this and insert here. In other words, from this equation 2, anywhere that we see a, we are going to insert minus 9 minus b. So this is going to be, using this one, minus 8a. So the a is already minus 9 minus b, minus 9 minus b. So minus 2b minus 2b will be equal to 6. So we have it like this. And now we are going to express this in full. So minus 8 times minus 9 is going to give us plus 72. So I'll put 72 here. Minus 8 times minus b is going to give us plus 8b plus 8b minus 2b will be equal to 6. So you are going to see here 8b minus 2b is going to give us 6b. So we are going to have 6b, that is 72, plus 6b is equal to 6. We have to collect like terms together and transfer the other one on the other side. So we are going to be left here with only 6b will be equal to 6, and carry this 72 on the other side is going to become minus 72. So we are going to have this. And of course, 6 minus 72 is going to give us minus 66. So we have 6b is equal to minus 66. And to get the value of b, we have to divide both sides by 6. Therefore, this 6 will take off this 6. And 6 here will go here one time, is going to go here one time. So we have minus 11. So b in this case is equal to minus 11. We now have the value of b. b is minus 11. We now need to look for the value of a. Since we already have b as minus 11, we can still use equation 1 to find a. Now, looking at this, a plus b is equal to minus 9. We are going to say a plus b is equal to minus 9. We already know the value of b. So you can see here, a plus b is equal to minus 9. We already know b because b is already minus 11. We just need to insert in this equation 1 to also get a. So a will be equal to minus 9. This plus b will come to the right hand side. Minus b. Can you see? Now we are going to say that a is equal to minus 9 minus, we already know b. b is minus 11. Minus 11. So a will now be equal to minus 9. So minus 11, that is minus times minus 11, is going to give us plus 11. So 11 minus 9 is equal to 2. So a is equal to 2. And now we have the value of a and b. So a is 2 and b is minus 11. So based on this expression, we have already looked at, as you can see here, they have asked us that we should look for the values of a and b, as stated here, that find the values of the constant a and b. Therefore, the values of the constant a is 2 and b is minus 11. We have completed the first step. Of course, we need to now move to the next. So the first step has been concluded. Let me draw this line and we are going to proceed. Okay. And now, since we already know the value of a and b, what we need to do as the next step is to make sure that you rewrite this expression, that now any place that you see the a, you insert it, the value of a, which is 2, and any area you see b, make sure to insert minus 11. So we are going to do that here. First, let's look at it. P of x here. So P of x should be equal to, as you can see here, this P of x, which is this, as you can see here, P of x is equal to, a is now, we know a, it is 2. So 2 into x cubed minus 3 x squared plus, we know b is minus 11 into x plus 6. So we have this expression now. Let's try to express this. So we have 2 times x cubed is going to give us 2x cubed minus 3x squared. So minus 11x plus 6. You can see. So you can see this is it now. 2x squared minus 3x cubed minus 11x plus 6 is equal to 0. That's the expression of P of x. What I want you to note here, the reason why we have equated to 0 is because here they have asked us to solve the equation P of x equal to 0. I want you to get this point. The reason why we are equating this equal to 0 is because they have asked us to solve the equation P of x equal to 0. Therefore, let's rewrite P of x fitting in the value of a and b in it and make sure to equate it to 0, which is what we have done exactly here. The value of a was 2 and the value of b was minus 11. We have equated there, and we have the 2x cubed minus 3x squared minus 11x plus 6. They told us to equate to 0, which is it here. P of x is equal to 0. So we have this expression. Now they want us to solve this expression to look for the values of x. That is what they want. Of course, looking at this, you're going to see that we have x cubed here. Solving this expression with a quadratic formula is not going to work because of the x cubed which is here. If we had just the x squared, then of course we can use the quadratic formula minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. But in this case, you cannot do that because of the x cubed which is affecting this expression. In other words, we must simplify this expression so that we are going to make sure that we have just x squared in the expression so that we can solve it using the quadratic expression or quadratic formula. To do this, note that they have told us that in this area, x plus 2 is a factor. If x plus 2 is a factor, then this expression here, we must use this expression and divide it by x plus 2. Then we are going to use the remainder and look for the value of x. You are going to see exactly what I'm going to do. Of course, when we solve this expression, we are going to now use the remainder and now look for the values of x using the quadratic formula. To do this, we must say that 2x cubed minus 3x squared minus 11x plus 6 divided by x plus 2, since it is a factor. If ever you see that it is a factor, then know that you must divide by the factor so that you are going to get a remainder. In this case, we are going to use the normal method of division, which we know. This method that states, you can see 2x cubed minus 3x squared minus 11x plus 6 divided by the factor. So the factor here is x plus 2, which is here, as you can see, given that x plus 2 is a factor. So we are going to say divided by x plus 2, like this. Now, looking at this area, what we need to do here is to make sure that we look at the first one here, which is the 2x cubed. Let me arrange it where it is a cube here. 2x cubed. So looking at the cube, we need to make use of this first value here, this first expression, which is 2x cubed. So we are going to ask ourselves, if we take this 2x cubed and divide it by x, what are we going to have? We are going to have 2x squared. So we are going to have 2x squared. 2x cubed divided by x is 2x squared. Now we are going to now use this 2x squared and multiply by all of these two numbers as factor. The first is x and the second is 2. So we are going to say 2x squared times x. It is going to give us 2x cubed. 2x squared times 2 is going to give us plus 4x squared. And the expression is done. Now we need to subtract to see what we have. So to subtract, 2x cubed minus 2x cubed, it is going to cancel out. The 2x cubed has been taken away. So now we are left with minus 3x squared. We are going to say minus 3x squared minus 4x squared. What are we going to have? Of course, minus 3x squared minus plus 4x squared. Note that in this area, there is a plus sign. And when we take the minus and multiply by the plus, we are going to have minus. So minus 3x squared minus 4x squared. We are going to have minus 7x squared. So we are going to have minus 7x squared. And now we are left with this one. Since everything has been calculated, now we are left with minus 11x. Minus 11x minus, we don't have nothing, which is resemblance of x here. So we just need to transfer this minus 11x plus 6 down here. So we are going to have minus 11x plus 6 here. And this is what we have now. This is minus 7x squared minus 11x plus 6. We still need to divide. And now to divide, we are going to use now the x squared here, the first term, just as in the case where we use the first term here, which was the 2x cubed. This time, we're going to use 7x squared. So 7x squared divided by x, that is minus 7x squared divided by x, we're going to have minus 7x. So we are going to have minus 7x. So minus 7x times x, we are going to have minus 7x squared, minus 7x squared, minus 7x times 2, we are going to have minus 14x, minus 14x. As you can see here, then it is already finished. Now we should subtract again. Minus 7x squared minus 7x squared. It is going to be minus is plus, and the plus we cancel this. So this is going to take off. So we are left with minus 11x minus 14x. So minus is going to give us plus 14x. Plus 14 minus 11 is going to give us plus 3x. So we have 3x. So we have 3x here. And nothing is left. We just bring down this 6 again. Plus 6. Now we have 3x. It can still divide. There is still x here. So 3x divided by x is going to give us plus 3. Plus 3. 3 times x is going to give us 3x. 3 times 2 is going to give us 6. That is plus 6. Now we need to take away. 3x minus 3x, it is going to cancel. It is 0. 6 minus 6 is going to cancel off. It is 0. So we have 0 and 0. So everything is done. Once we have this, everything has bushed down to 0 and we don't have nothing, then of course this is now our major expression. So we need to look for the value of x using this remainder, using this particular expression. So the expression now is 2x squared minus 7x plus 3 is equal to 0. So now we are going to say, since we have p of x is equal to 0 as seen here on this expression, p of x equal to 0. Now we have to say that the new expression which we have now is this 2x squared minus 7x plus 3. So we are going to say 2x squared minus 7x plus 3 is equal to 0. So we need now to look for the values of x. And to look for the values of x, we are going to use the quadratic formula that states that x is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So now we need to formulate. So a, as you already know, the general formula that says that ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. A here is the coefficient of x squared, b here is the coefficient of x, and c here is the constant. So a here will be equal to the coefficient of x squared is 2, b is equal to minus 7, and c is equal to 3. So let's try to input those values inside of that expression to get the values of x. Now we are going to say that to get x is equal to minus b. So b is minus 7. So we are going to say minus 7 plus or minus square root b squared. So b is minus 7. That is minus 7 squared minus 4. A is 2. C is 3 divided by 2a. A is 2. So we are going to simplify that. So minus times minus is going to give us plus. That is plus 7. So we are just going to say 7 plus or minus square root the x will be equal to 7 plus or minus square root b squared. 7 squared is 49. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 4 is 24. So we have minus 24 divided by 2 times 2 is 4. So 49 minus 24, we have 25. This is the same as 7 plus or minus square root of 25 divided by 4. In other words, x will be equal to square root of 25 is 5. So x is 7 plus 5 divided by 4. 7 plus 5 divided by 4. And x is also equal to 7 minus 5 divided by 4. So 7 plus 5 is 12. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Therefore, x is equal to 3. And 7 minus 5 is equal to 2. 2 divided by 4. We have it like this. 2 divided by 4. So this 2 cancel here is going to go here 2 times. So x is also equal to half. So those are the two values of x. X is equal to 3 and x is equal to half. So of course, we have finally succeeded in getting all the 9 marks which you have seen here for this particular polynomial, which stated that p of x is equal to ax cubed minus 3x squared plus bx plus 6. When p of x is divided by this, that is by x minus 1, the remainder is minus 6. Given that x plus 2 is a factor of p of x, find the value of the constant a and b, and also solve the expression or equation p of x equal to 0. 9 marks. We have gotten all these marks. So congratulations for following up. You want to make sure that you use the same technique for similar questions like this. And of course, we are going to see you again in the next upload based on other questions and answer series on these particular following tutorials. We have a lot of them, and we'll be solving much of the questions, submitting them to you so that you learn exactly what are the techniques you should apply. And also to those of you who have questions which you cannot solve, make sure that you send all the questions to us. And of course, also you can state the year of this exam question or whatever question that you have, just submit them to us. And we are going to make sure that we release the solutions to all the questions which you ask. We're here to help you out to find out the solution of all problems when it can concern mathematics. And of course, we are here. This is going to help you, especially in the exams, so that when you see a question like this, it will be very easy for you to trash them out and pick out all the points or marks which have been given to that question. Make sure that you also join our group, which of course you can submit your question as well and let us to know. Once we see your question, we'll try to be solving them and submit to you. We also have a forum. You as well can join it and see how you can also have submission of your questions, and we're going to find the various answers. So that's all for today. We are going to see you again in the next upload, and bye-bye for now.